So today we are looking at the Q4OS 5.6. So this is the latest version of the Q4OS. So the codename for the Q4OS 5 is Aquarius, and I'm using the Plasma desktop environment. So it's based on a Debian stable version, and the country of origin of this Linux distro is Germany, and the desktop environment you get is KDE Plasma and Trinity desktop environment. So about the system requirements and about the new features of the 0.6 or the 6th update of Q4OS, I'm going to give all the information in the video. So here is the boot menu. So I'm going to boot it in the live boot. I'm running it on the virtual machine, which is VMware with 60 GB of virtual disk, and my CPU is i5 1240p, and I'm using 8 GB of RAM for the virtual machine. So about the system requirements of a Q4OS, I'm going to discuss that later. So the booting process will take 2 or 3 minutes usually, but I'm going to mention as soon as the desktop loaded, I'm going to say how much of time it took. So I'm going to give you a small information of the Q4OS. So it's a Debian based desktop Linux distribution, and designed to offer classic style user interface with Trinity and simple accessories, and to serve stable APIs for complex third-party applications such as Google, Chrome, VirtualBox, and development tools. The system is also very useful for virtual cloud environments due to its very low hardware requirements. So this is some description or some information of the Q4OS. So I already mentioned where it's made. It's made in Germany, and the desktop environment you get is the KDE Plasma and Trinity, and it's based on Debian. So I'm going to give all the information like a new features. I already know all the features, but I'm going to show you and I'm going to discuss all those things. And about the system requirements, I already made videos on the Q4OS. If you want to check it out, you can check it out. But I'm going to give you all the information and try to understand that the virtual machine performances will be differ when you try it on the bare metal, because bare metal is going to be running with smoothly and with less resources. So you need to understand these basic things. So here is our welcome screen, display setup, KDialog. So I'm going to click on OK. So you should be getting two desktop environments. The most people download the KDE Plasma, so that's the reason I downloaded the same thing. So the resolution, I am using a 1920 into 1080 with a 16:9 ratio, 9 ratio. So I'm going to click on apply and I'm going to keep it. Okay. So we should be having all the setups before the live boot. So here you can choose the languages. There are plenty of languages available. I'm choosing the American English, or you can go with the normal English if you have. So here it is, American English or English American. Click OK, generating system. So it's going to set up our live desktop. So it's always a good option to try it in the live boot or in the virtual machines before trying it. So it's already Debian based, so you don't need to worry about it. But if you still don't understand things, and if you don't trust any Linux distro, you can always try it in the live boot. It's always a good practice to try it in the live boot or in the virtual machines and then go with the installation. If you're a normal user and if you want to install the Linux distro as a for main PC or work PC, you need to go do this type of things in order to save your PC, because some of the distributions may break your PC. So that's a good practice for trying the live boot or in the virtual machines. So if you have the hardware specs in order to run the virtual machine, you can try it in the virtual machine, or else you can just try it in the live boot. So here is our welcome screen. So you should be seeing all the information here. You can click on the more options to get some documents, online supports, Patreon, and donate options. So I'm going to close all those things. So I didn't change anything, so I didn't touch anything. So I'm going to show you how much of resources it's going to consume as soon as you boot up. So I hope we have like a cases card or something like system monitor. So we already have here. I'm going to show you how much of resources it's going to consume, and also I'm going to show you what version we are running. So right now it's consuming 1.4 GB of RAM of 8 GB. And about the CPU, it's pretty much stable, which is under 10%, because the version of the KDE Plasma is 5.27.5. So it's going to perform pretty much throughout the video well, because the 6.1 versions in my laptop or in my PC, it's going to be having some issues. I don't know whether it's for my PC or it's overall for everyone, Even some of my viewers already mentioned that the 6.1 version has consuming a lot of resources. I tried in the bare metal and also in the virtual machines library, but I always had the issue with the CPU. And also you need to understand the basic things is when you run it on the virtual machines, there's going to be some having like a hiccups here and there. Even if that distro doesn't have any issues, there will be some hiccups here and there in the virtual machines because it's common. And I'm running it on the VMware now. So these are all the hardware specs. I'm going to go through all those things. So OS Debian new Linux 12. So it has the 12.7 updates. So I'm going to mention all those things by opening the official website. So let's first check all the resources now. So it's consuming 1.5 GB of RAM. When you run it on the bare metal, it will be way lesser, like maybe difference will be like a 300-400 MB. You shouldn't be seeing more than that. So you should be only seeing like a 300-400 MB of less resources here. And about the CPU, it will be also a bit less. And when you are using, there will be a smooth experience when in the bare metal, or else when you install it on the hard disk like that. So when you run it on the live boot and virtual machine, you should be seeing some hiccups here and there. So it's better to judge on your own instead of judging my thoughts, because I'm going to show you how it performs on my PC. So it will be performing like that on my PC when running it on the virtual machines. So you should try it on your own and decide whether to use those Linux distribution or not. So you need to consider all the aspects and decide whether to use that Linux distribution or not. So my main objective is to show the new features and how it performs on my computer. So that's the main objective. So you need to remember these things. So here are all the resources. Let's check the system monitor version. So here is the version you get. So I'm going to keep it like this on the right side corner throughout the video, so you can see all the changes, because I want you to judge on your own. So here is some of the description of the Q4OS if you don't know anything about it. And here is the desktop profiler. So here you can choose whatever desktop you want to use. Full featured, the basic, and the ultimately minimal desktop. And here are the available desktop environments. Yes, I really want to install the additional desktop environment. So you get the LXQT, XFCE, LXDE, Matte, Burgie, Cinnamon, GNOME, and Trinity. So these are all the available desktop environments if you want. I'm going to close everything. And software profile, select please. So you can select whatever you want according to your wish. So here is the install applications. So you can install all the applications if you want. It's going to open the software center, install proprietary codecs, screen scaling, set auto login. So here is a pop-up, and here you can install some applications which are a bit of important applications you need, like Mozilla Firefox. We already should be having some browser in the distro, and the LibreOffice for some of the office or students, and update manager if you want to update, VLC media player for playing media files, Mozilla Thunderbird for mails and all those things. And look switcher, I think it's going to customize some desktop things, like it's a bit of customization thing, so I'm just going to leave it there. So here you should be getting the ratings, and if you want to install application, please you can select here and install application. You can go with the Discover Manager and also the desktop profiler. So you get the 15 featured applications here. So if you want to install, you can install. So install proprietary codecs or codecs. Here is some hardware information. I'm going to show you all those things. So if you want, you can install. So I'm just going to close everything, and I'm going to open the internet browser. So we have the Chromium web browser. So most of the Linux distributions will be having like a Firefox browser as the default, but in this case you should be getting Chromium browser. So I hope we get the Mozilla Firefox, but it's okay. I'm not going to install anything here because I want to keep everything default, and I'm going to show you how it performs on the default settings and all those things. So Chromium should take a bit of time. So we already have the Chromium. So let's check the version of the Chromium browser. So you get the 128.0.6613. So I don't know whether it's the latest version or not. I hope the latest version is 128. You can just type in Chromium and you should be getting all the information. As you can see, there is like a bit of delay when opening the tab also. So I don't know why they provide the Chromium browser instead of Firefox or any lightweight browsers. So it's okay. We are going to open things. So I'm going to type in Q4OS. as the system. I don't know why it's not showing anything here. So my keyboard isn't working on the desktop. So I think we need to do a restart. So I'm going to log out and see whether it's going to work. So there will be sometimes issue distributions because they have some issue. So sometimes it doesn't get your keyboard. So the password should be nothing. So yes, so you don't have any passwords or anything. You just need to click on the enter and it's going to in the desktop layout. So I hope now it works. So let's search it. Let me try the keyboard. So it's still not showing anything. So I tried the two keyboards. I choose the laptop keyboard and also the wireless keyboard. So it's not showing anything. So I'm going to restart it and I'm going to get back and try to continue the video. To restart, I'm going to show you everything. So the keyboard is not working for me right now. Even the laptop inbuilt laptop keyboard doesn't working. And also, so I can't even click on continue here because of the keyboard. So I'm just going to close my virtual machine and I'm going to I'm going to restart it. So let me close the distro. So I'm going to restart it again. So let's go to the Ubuntu. So here is my specs for the virtual machine. So I'm going to start it again. So there was an issue with the keyboard. Sometimes you need to restart it so it's going to work. So here we are back with the boot screen or the boot menu. So I'm going to start it again. So there was a keyboard issue. So without a keyboard we can't do anything. So that's the reason I'm going to restart it, and I'm going to keep everything like that so you can understand some of the issues you need to face when running the virtual machines or the distros. So I want to give you a complete information. I don't want to cheat you by showing the only good part. I'm going to show you all the things which happens when you run the distros. So that's always a good option to run it on the virtual machines or live boot, because you should also find some issues like wireless problems, internet connection problems. So you need to try it first and then go with the installation if you want to install any Linux distro on the main PC or work PC. So if you're a distro hopper or a Linux tester, you can try it on your virtual machines. There will be no issues. You can delete the virtual machines and try it again. But if you're a normal user or a user who want to install any Linux distro as on a main PC or a work PC, you need to always try it in the virtual machines, live boot, and go with the installation, because there will be some issues with the Wi-Fi and also the networks, sometimes the mouse, and also this time we have the keyboard issues. So in like 80% of the distros will be having good like a working keyboard internet, but some of the times some distros doesn't at least give like a mouse settings and all those things. So there's some mouse settings and also some keyboard things doesn't work sometimes. So you need to understand this before installing it on the main PC or work PC. So we have the mouse pointer already and we're going to set up again. So configuring the system is going to take again like a 30 seconds. So we just need to wait and fix all those things. So we need to set up all those things again. So I'm just going to click everything. So here we have the monitor resolution. I'm going to change it, apply, OK. Again the language selection, American English or English American, click OK. It's going to take few seconds and it's going to give us our desktop layout. So here we have the KDE Plasma logo. So if you want the Trinity desktop, do let me know in the comment section. I'm going to show you, or I'm going to make a video on it. So there will be no changes other than some things, but if you want, do let me know in the comment section. I'm going to make it if you want. And also I already posted the Debian 12.7 video. If you want to check that video, you can check it out. So there is already video available. So I'm going to close everything and I'm going to open the system monitor, because we need only important things. So let's go to the system monitor. Let me close the welcome screen. So we can make a video right now. So I'm going to keep the system monitor here. So again, same RAM and same CPU. So let's open the Chromium web browser, internet Chromium browser. So let's fast run these things so we can see whether this distro will handle those stress or not. So it's going to take a few seconds to open the browser. So already it's consuming like a 5500 MB. So it's pretty much 23% of the CPU, it's consuming 40% now. So keep an eye on the CPU and RAM throughout the video so you can judge whether to use this distribution or not. Let's see whether keyboard is working. So it's working. So that's the reason you need to restart it. So already I mentioned that you need to restart and the things will fix. So we already saw the version. So I'm just going to type in Q4OS. So this is the search term you need to type in. So I'm using a VPN, so it triggers some things. I don't want to go through all those things. Let me choose the search engine. So I'm changing this search engine. So we need to, let me try the startpage.com. So sometimes it triggers the some of the servers when you're using a VPN. So let me try the Q4OS. Hit enter, and the first link will be the official website, or you can just go with the Q4OS.org and you should be getting all the information here. So if you don't know any information of the Q4OS, here is complete information of the Q4OS, like a lean and fast, rock stable, visual themes, and look switcher. So I already mentioned in the beginning that there is a look switcher, Trinity desktop edition. So it looks like this, and dual desktop ready. So here it is. Windows installer, more features. So here you should be seeing all the information of the Q4OS. So here is the information of the 5.6 Aquarius, which is the version we are right now using. So here is complete information of the 5.6. The code name is Aquarius, which I already said or mentioned. So it's a stable ISO file, so it's not a beta version or unstable version, so it's a stable version. So the Q4OS project is pleased to announce the code name already mentioned. So the new Aquarius 5.6 series received the recent Debian 12.7 updates. So if you don't know any information of the 12.7, they have like 51 miscellaneous bug fixes and 55 security updates, which I already mentioned or already made a video on it. So it was just yesterday video. So if you want to check that video, there is already a video available, which I already mentioned that too. So the kernel version you get is a 6.10-25. So there is no kernel version. So I'm going to show you the kernel version. Let me show you Info Center. So here you should be seeing the kernel version 6.1.0. So this is the version we are getting, and also the X11. So I'm using the X11 session now. So I'm going to close everything. And also this release brings along a few Q4OS specific improvements, fixes, and a cumulative upgrade covering all the changes from the previous stable Aquarius release, which is 5.5. And Calamares installer now features custom desktop profiles loader. See the documentation. So you can just click on the documentation to get the information. And a native Q4OS setup tool as well as a desktop profiler have been enhanced with new features. All the Q4OS live media receive brand new Debian Shim and Grub bootloader binaries. They revoke signatures access across older versions of a Shim in the UEFI firmware, which I already mentioned everything in that Debian 12.7 video. If you want to check it out, you can check it out. We are currently pushing all the updated packages into the Q4OS repositories. Automatic update process will take care of the upgrade for existing Q4OS users. Everyone is welcome to download the installation media images from the download section. So you can click on the download section here, or you can download another way. I'm going to show you that. So Q4OS website and enjoy our prime operating system. So this is some of the information of the 5.6. So here is the documentation of the installation you get here. I'm going to show you all those things. So if you want to install, you can go with this documentation, or else you know already how to install. So Q4OS desktop operating system. So the download section. So you just need to go to the home page and you should just click on the downloads and you should be getting all those installation media files, or else you can go to the SourceForge website. Let me show you that. sourceforge.net, just click like that and the website will be here, or else you can just type in like a SourceForge in the search engine and it will give the first link. Just type Q4OS and here you should be seeing the project, and here is some of the information of the Q4OS, like features and all the important information. Just go to the files and here you need to see the stable version. If you want the older version, you can go with all those folders and check all those files. So this is the KDE Plasma desktop environment. Here is the Trinity. Check the date and check the downloads and you can download the ISO file here. You can just click on the here, or you can just click on the link here, or else if you want to go with this official website, you can go with it and it will directly take you to the SourceForge website. So let me show you. So now take me to the downloads. So it will take directly to the SourceForge and it's going to download the ISO file. So that was the downloading process and that was the information of the Q4OS 5.6. So here is the ISO file, which is around 1.4 GB. I'm using a virtual machine and also I'm using the VPN. So that was the downloading process. So let me close everything and I'm going to go through some of the commands. Let me open the console. Let me type in some commands. Before that, let's check the information or the about the console. Let's see what version we get here. About console. So you get the 22.12.3. So let's try the neofetch. Hit enter. So it says command not found. So in the background, I installed some of the things here. So I installed the neofetch and also I updated some of the things here. So here you can see. So I updated some things here and also installed the neofetch. So let me close all those things and let's try it again with the neofetch. Hit enter and here is the information. So operating system, it says as a Debian New Linux Bookworm. The codename of 12 is a Bookworm and I'm running it on the VMware, which is virtual machine. The kernel version, which I already mentioned. Uptime is almost 15 minutes. Packages 1719 dpkg. Shell bash version 5.2.15. The resolution of the monitor is 1920 x 1080. KDE Plasma version or the desktop environment version is 5.75.5 Plasma. Here is some themes, icons and all the information. I'm using a CPU of i5 1240p, which I already mentioned. Here is the memory or the RAM right now. So it's consuming 2.3 GB. So I'm going to type in inxi-sv8. So this is the command which will grab complete distro information. So I'm going to go through all the information. So host, it says is a Debian. Kernel version, which I already mentioned, 64-bit. Compiler GCC version 12.2.0 and the desktop environment already mentioned. Qt version 5.15.8. Distro is Q4OS 5.6.1 based on Debian 12. So I'm just going to scroll it down and I'm just going to read some important information. So about the machine, just ignore it because it's a virtual machine information. And about the CPU, I already mentioned i5 1240p. So here is the flag vulnerabilities, which is not necessary for the video. So I'm just going to go through the important things only. So VMWGFX graphics version 2.20.0. So we are on the graphics part. So here is the version. And about the display X11, which I already mentioned. Server Xorg version 1.21.1.7. And what else we have here is the screen resolutions, available screen resolutions. Let me scroll it down. So OpenGL version is 4.3, Mesa version is 22.3.6. And here is some audio part. So I'm just going to read some important information here. So here is the ALSA version, the Pulse Audio, which is 16.1. and this is some network information. For the video we don't need anything here. So if you want anything, just pause the video and read everything. I'm just going to read some important things. So here is all the process. Here are the repos, USB, partitions and all those things. So process running right now are 236, uptime is 16 minutes, wake ups 454, init systemd version 252, shell bash version which I already mentioned. So here is the INXI version 3.3.26. So let me type in some commands which is same as this one, so there is no difference, but I'm going to show you. INXI -b. Just pause the video and read everything if you want. So I already mentioned every information, but if you want anything, just pause the video. INXI-F, INXI-G. So we got all the information. Let me type in cat /etc /issue. So it says Debian new Linux. So if you want htop, you can type htop. So here is the htop installed. So it's pre-installed. So I just installed the neofetch, and also INXI was also the pre-installed. So you don't need to install the INXI. Here we got all the information of the distro. So let's go to the installation because there is some change in the installation. So double click on the installer and you should be getting the Calamares installer right in front of you. So here you can choose the languages which you already know. There are plenty of languages available. Click next. You should be choosing your location. You can choose the drop down menu or you can choose the map for the location. The system language will be set to American English, United States. If you want to change, you can change according to your wish, or else keep it like that if you want. The numbers and date locale will be set to American English, United States. Again, same thing. If you want to customize, you can keep it. So click on next, keyboard model. So here you should be seeing all the information. Choose your keyboard. Choose the language for the keyboard. Choose the variant. If you want to test your keyboard, you can test here by typing. Click next. So here we have the desktop. So you should be getting some information of the desktop. So full feature desktop with a web browser, office suite and recommended applications set. So here is a note. Install process could take a while as the installer needs to perform an extra configuration and cleanup. So here you can load your custom profile. So this is the basic of information. So here you should be getting some description. And about the live, you should be seeing all the information. About the pure, so you already got all the information here. Click next. Whatever you want to choose, you can choose. If you want load custom your profiler, you can load it. So I'm just going to click on next. So here you should be choosing the partition. If you don't know how to install the Linux distro on the virtual disk or the main drive, so you need to watch tutorials in the YouTube. So I already made a lot of videos, like 3000 videos in my channel, but I really don't remember in which video. And also about my videos, I will be covering almost every features, every information. For just the installation, I don't recommend you to watch complete videos. So it will be a waste of time for you because my videos will be a bit lengthy, 20-25 minutes video. So you don't want to watch those videos. Instead of that, watch some YouTube shorts or like a YouTube videos. There are some users, there are some channels who make just short videos of installation. So it's better to watch like 2-3 videos and you should be good with the installation. So there is nothing complicated here, but I'm going to give you a small information. So you can be watching those videos and you can install it on your own. Only if you're satisfied with the distribution and you got all the information by doing your own research. Then if you truly trust those Linux distros, try to install it, or else you can just go with the well-known Linux distributions, which are like almost decades. So it's better to go with those Linux distributions. If you don't know about that specific distributions, you can go with the well-known Linux distributions. So let's go to the partitions now. So here you need to choose your installation drive or the hard disk, virtual disk, whatever disk you have. So if you have like a multiple hard drive, choose the specific drive and you should be choosing the installation destination. So where you want to install the Q4OS. So the first option is basically it's going to give all the information here itself. So it's going to delete everything whatever you choose the drive. it's going to wipe like a media files, current operating systems. If you have like a Windows 11 or whatever the operating system in that, it's going to wipe everything and it's going to just install the Q4OS on the specific installation drive. So it's going to install it as a single boot, so everything will be wiped off. So you need to be very careful. So that's the reason I said you to watch some videos of installation. So here is the options, and the another option is like a manual partitioning. So here you should be getting some description of our information. So you need to create a partition before choosing this option. So after creating a partition, you should be seeing the partition here, and you can choose that specific partition and you can install that Q4OS Linux distro on that specific partition. And also you should be seeing two operating systems in the boot menu, or the dual boot operating systems in the boot menu when you boot up the operating systems. One will be the Q4OS and the another will be the operating system which you already running. So when you choose the erase disk, you can choose the encrypt your system. So you can provide the password which should be same in the boxes if you want encryption. The current drive will be like this, and after installation it will be like this. And about the bootloader location, so here you should be seeing the three options. The first one is master boot record of the specific drive and the system partition, and they do not install a bootloader. So if you already watched the videos of installation, you know what to do here. So click on next. So again you need to create a partition here. So this is pretty much common in every operating system, and in every common it's pretty much common in every Linux distro. So these are all the common things, so there is nothing complicated things to install here. So you just need to create an account. So it says what is your name, so you don't need to provide your actual name, you can provide whatever you want. Just remember things which you provide here, like a credentials, password and all those things. It's better to remember, or it's better to type in your notes taking app and anything like that, so it will be helpful. So what is your name? I'm going to type in my channel name, 9to5 Linux. So if everything is good, you should be seeing a tick mark here. So what name do you want to use to log in? So if you use the numericals here, you should be getting some pop-up. So it says your username must start with a lowercase letter or an underscore. So it's always better to use the alphabets. So right now you can see the tick mark or the correct sign. So what is the name of this computer? I'm going to keep it like this, like a 9to5 Linux. So we got all the tick mark here. Choose a password to keep your account safe. I'm choosing the simple password for the sake of the video. For example, like a 125. So options are here is login automatically without asking for the password. If you want to check it, you can check it or uncheck it. It's clearly up to you. So use the same password for the administrator account. So if you don't want the same password as this one, you can change the password for the administrator account, or else just click on here to use the same password. So when you click on next, here you should be seeing the summary of whatever you chose or whatever you set up in the previous installation setup. You should be seeing all those things here, like location, we already chose all those things like a keyboard and the partitions. And after the clicking on install, this all the things will happen, or so it's going to create all those things before clicking on install. So when you click on install, it's going to take like a 20-25 minutes, depends on your PC. If you have like a high-end PC, it should be very quick, and if you use the low-end PC, it should be taking a bit of low. So about the system requirements, I'm going to discuss as soon as the installation is completed. So these are all the information, and also when you download the stable ISO file, it's going to be very quick, and the installation failing process or the failing things will be like a 1%. So most of the time it will be working properly without issues. 99% of the time it's going to install without issues, but there will be rare cases of some when you only download the beta version or the development version, unstable version. So there will be more cases like the installation may fail and application may crash, or these are all the things will happen when you download the beta version or unstable version. So if you're a normal user, it's always good to download the stable version, watch like videos of all the channels. If you have doubt, then go into the installation if you want. So that was the installation process. So I'm just not going to install it because I need to make another video. So about the system requirements to run this distribution, so I'm going to try to find the information in the Google, but if we don't find anything, I'm going to give you my own information. So let's open the search engine. So let me verify it. Let me change the language because I'm using a VPN. So let me type in Q4OS. So it should be same as the Debian system requirements, but I'm going to show you that. So just type in like Q4OS system requirements or whatever the Linux distribution requirements you need, you can do that, or else you can watch my videos if you want. So here you need like a desktop environment, CPU with 350 megahertz. So we can consider it as a lightweight Linux distribution. So here is the official website. Let me go through all this information. So you need to have like a 1 gigahertz CPU, 1 GB RAM, 5 GB disk for the Plasma desktop. For the Trinity, you need to have like a 350 megahertz CPU, 256 MB of RAM, 3 GB disk. So it says it can run it on the lightweight or the, so it's considered as a lightweight Linux distribution. I don't really think, because the RAM is almost like a 2.7 GB, but you can run it on the low-end PC. So that's the main thing I want to mention here. You can run it on the low-end PC. So if you have like a 1 gigahertz CPU and also if you have like a 1 GB of RAM, so you can run this Linux distribution. So these are the requirements or the minimal hardware requirements to run this Linux distro. Here is some other information. You can go through all those things. I didn't go through these things when I was mentioning about the downloads, so I didn't properly saw that. So here are all the information. So if you want to install on the Windows, you can do that like this, and other downloads you can go with these things like a Raspberry Pi and all those things. So here is some files information. So here are all the system requirements in order to run this Linux distribution. So it's pretty much lightweight, not the lightweight, it's pretty much for the low-end PC. If you want to run on if you want the lightweight, you can go with the Trinity desktop. Here they mentioned like you don't need an actual anything here. So Trinity desktop, maybe it should be like a live desktop with a lightweight. You can call it as a lightweight. So I didn't make a video, but if you want to make a video, I'm going to make the Trinity also if you want. So that was some of the information of the Q4OS. So basically when we see on the pre-installed applications you get from the Q4OS, so you basically get the KDE Plasma desktop environment applications and so you don't get any bloatware or anything, so that's a good thing. So if you want, you can go with this Linux distribution, or else you can go with the KDE Neon, because you should be just getting some 2 or 3 applications. So if you go with the Trinity, I don't know how it's going to be, but it's better to go with the Trinity in my opinion if you want any changes on the desktop features. But if you want the Q4OS, you can go with the KDE Plasma desktop environment, or else you can go with the Trinity. It's clearly up to you to judge. But when you ask me whether there is any difference between KDE Neon and Q4OS, so here are some of the changes. You get some applications. And when you go with the KDE Plasma or the KDE Neon, you should be having some latest desktop environment. So if you like the KDE Plasma 6, you can go with the KDE Neon. But if you want the good running KDE Plasma, you can go with the Q4OS KDE Plasma desktop environment. So we already saw the welcome screen. Here is the software center, which I already showed you in the beginning. But the 15 pre-installed applications or the 15 featured applications. So it's nothing pre-installed here. You should be seeing the featured applications here. So it's going to take a few seconds because here is the data running. So you can install the applications here. If you want, you can go with the Discover Manager. So featured applications are 61 right now. So it was 15 before. Right now I updated everything. So that's the reason you should be seeing all the applications. So I forgot that. You should be seeing like a 61 applications, which are pretty much all the important applications, like content creating applications. There is like a torrent thing and also the text editor. So you get a lot of pre-installed, not the pre-installed, like a featured applications right here. So you can install any applications like a NVIDIA driver, Synaptic Package Manager, GIMP. So everything is right available in front of you. If you want like this, you can try the Q4OS KDE Plasma desktop environment. So these are all the changes you see when you compare with the KDE Neon. So I think it's a good option to go with the Q4OS KDE Plasma. So it's clearly up to you after that. If you want to decide everything on your own, you can do that. So let's check some desktop features like wallpapers and like some other things. So you basically get the KDE Plasma desktop environment, so there will be no change based on Debian. So you should be seeing every wallpaper of Debian. So there is nothing from the Trinity, so everything is from like Debian. So about the settings, you already know all the settings of the 5.27 version, so there will be a waste of time if I go through all those things. So here are all the pre-installed applications. So I think that's the end of the video because we showed all the important information here. So throughout the video there was no lag, no issues, no errors, just the beginning keyboard thing. I restarted it and it fixed, so I don't think it's as a major issue. So if you have the same issue, do let me know in the comment section. But if it's running everything smoothly, then it's okay. So this will be on the virtual machine. So these are all the resources it's going to consume on the virtual machines. But when you run it on the bare metal, it's going to be very smooth and it's going to consume a bit lesser resources. So this is my PC, so this is how it performs on my PC. So it should be a bit different. If you have like a high-end PC, it's going to be performing very well. So you just need the minimum requirements of the Q4OS and you should be good running every Trinity desktop and the KDE Plasma desktop environment. So at the end of the video, these are all the applications. I can't do a stress test because we don't have any applications here like a game blender or some resource consuming applications, or else we had tried it. So the stress test is basically like opening a bunch of applications like a normal user do, like 4 or 5 applications at once, to see whether there will be like a crash or heavy resource consumption or any lag or like a not responding things will pop up. So these are all the things to can judge whether to use this Linux distribution or not. So we need to do a stress test, but we need to install all the applications. But this Linux distribution is based on Debian, so you already know how it performs Debian. So I'm just going to end the video here. So these are all the hardware resources and all the process running. So I'm going to show you the logout screen and I'm going to end the video. So if you like the video, do let me know, and also you like a video. And what else is there? So I'll be posting videos daily without missing any day. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. About the login credentials, there is no password. You can just click on here and it's going to boot up or log in automatically. So that's the logout screen. So I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching. Peace out.